Hope everyone is great. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. CONNECTpreneur is a global community of over 25,000 investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professional service providers from around the world. This is our 71st CONNECTpreneur event overall over the last 11 years, and this is our 27th virtual CONNECTpreneur rocket pitch. We are now the world's largest monthly investor pitch event. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks for participating, and hope we have a great event for you all. Over the last 11 years, we've had over 800 presenting companies, and our CONNECTpreneur Investor Network now totals over 3,000 accredited private investors, angels, and family offices who are interested in investing in awesome deals that they can meet through the CONNECTpreneur community and our events. 10 years ago, we started CONNECTpreneur originally as a forum for business leaders, entrepreneurs, and investors to connect and engage, to learn, to be inspired from each other, and also to celebrate innovation and entrepreneurship. And our intent is to help our community members find capital, find awesome deals, to find partners, customers, team members, and to meet and engage with great business leaders like yourselves. And our events are all about connecting, and this is why we do these events as meetings and not webinars. We want every attendee to be able to see every other attendee, and every attendee can then reach out to and private chat with every attendee as well. We also published a list of all of the RSVPs at the end of the program books, which I hope you guys have downloaded. If not, Skylar, who is our community manager, can post the link to the program book so you can download it, and you can see all the people that have RSVP'd as of, I believe, yesterday. And we will have a final program book posted on our website after the event. In fact, all 70 plus of our program books are on our website. So you can see, we believe in transparency, and we share that information unlike other events. So today, after our final presenter, we're going to open up 13 breakout rooms. The breakout rooms will not be open until the last presenter. Each breakout room is hosted by one of our 13 presenting companies. You guys, as attendees, will be able to enter and leave whichever breakout room you like. So please do visit with as many presenting companies that you have an interest in investing in or learning more about. Purpose of the breakout room is for our presenting companies to go deeper with interested investors and partners, because they're only going to be presenting for about 4 minutes in the main event. So use this opportunity to get to know them better and to ask questions. And please remember that these breakout rooms are hosted by the presenting companies, so please conduct yourselves accordingly. Also, please be respectful and tactful when using the group chat. You can post your LinkedIn and other contact info and information. Please do not overload the chat, and unless you're a presenter, please don't post more than 2 or 3 times. Our presenters, they'll be also posting links to their deck and executive summaries in the group chat, along with registration information for follow-on investor meetings, which they'll be hosting on their own in the coming weeks. So most of our 13 presenting companies are going to be hosting their own meetings, either on Zoom or on Teams or whatever platform they choose. So keep a lookout for that. We'll send an email update tomorrow with all of the links of the people of the presenters that want to do that. Or you can ask them in the breakout room, or they can post the link right into the group chat. And just really important on the group chat, there's dozens of messages. I can see probably a couple hundred already. So we recommend that you download the group chat transcript before you leave the meeting, and even before you go into the breakout rooms. And that way you can read through them afterwards. And just for those of you who don't know how to save your chat transcript, you click on the chat icon at the bottom of your toolbar, and you'll see a little rounded square with 3 dots. And if you click on that icon and hit save, your chat transcript will be saved, and then you can review and follow up with all the messages later. And also, we will be polling our investors a few times this morning. We're going to do 3 polls, one after the 5th presenter, one after the 9th presenter, and one after the final presenter. And please remember, these polls are only for investors, and they are confidential. We're not sharing poll results with anybody except these presenting companies, and it's solely for the benefit of our investors and presenting companies. So please remember, if you're not an investor, do not answer those polls. Now, let's see. We have 13 executive summaries, information on our sponsors in the program book. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to download that. We're also going to conduct 2 additional polls today for our sponsors. We'll conduct one soon, and then we'll conduct one after the last presenter. And this is super important because our sponsors are the ones who are making our events possible. Everybody here is here for free. But the reason we can do this is because our sponsors are supporting us. So we definitely want our community to support our sponsors as much as possible. And we will put the polls up. If you have a need, just let us know, and we'll make the introductions, or we'll give your information to our sponsors later. So again, we'll do a sponsor poll soon, and I'll shout out our sponsors when we do that. And then we'll do one at the end of the event. So just a rundown for today. We have 13 total presenters. Each presentation is about 4 minutes. We do not do Q&A, so the Q&A can be done in the breakout rooms. Obviously, if you're captivated, please indicate that on the investor poll and stop by the breakout room. Our first 7 presenters will be introduced by Anthony Mellon of Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, and our next 6 presenters will be introduced by Matthew Allison of Nymphos Brow. So again, investors, we have those 3 polls coming up, so please participate accordingly. Couple of program notes. We have 3 events we'd like to talk about, or 4 actually. We have a next virtual rocket pitch is April 28th. We'll put the link to register in the chat box. We have a Connect Tales event on April 19th in the evening here in Tysons Corner, Virginia. So we'll put that link in. We have another in-person event on May 19th in Washington, the morning of May 19th, downtown DC. We're going back to doing in-person events, so please stay tuned. We'll be doing one in June and one in August as well. And please let Skyler know if you're interested in sponsoring, exhibiting, or presenting. In May, CONNECTpreneur is pleased and proud again to be co-organizing the 9th annual Mid-Atlantic Innovation Awards program. This is hosted by the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce. It's an amazing program. It recognizes innovation of all kinds in all organizations. So who's eligible to apply is anybody who's doing creative and innovative things in the Mid-Atlantic, including startups, government agencies. Could be a nonprofit, an educational institution, could be a group within a large company. And we're looking to celebrate all kinds of innovation. So not just technology innovations, but if you're doing something special in human capital or manufacturing or service delivery or whatever, then we want to hear about it. And the application deadline has been extended to next week, April 5th. It's a simple application. It's a written application. It should take about 10 minutes. But if you go to novachamber.org, you can find more information there. And lastly, the Moxie Awards will be held in October of this year in Tysons Corner. Moxie Awards recognizes boldness in business. The applications are open for the next 3 weeks. You can go to www.moxieaward.com. That's MOXIE award.com. So we can get started. I'd like to put up our first poll, which is a poll for our awesome sponsors. If you have any interest in their service, please indicate as such. Again, this is confidential. We will let them know if you're interested. I do want to read out their names. They're listed in the 3rd to last page in the program book, but we want to thank Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, Modus Create, Stella Pop, Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, Nymphos Brow, the Association for Enterprise Growth, Ryan and Wetmore, SunTrust Bank, the Northern Virginia Chamber, Startup Grind, New York Life, George Mason, Mason Enterprise, Keiretsu Forum, Formicidae, Enterprise Transformation Solutions, Angels and Life Sciences Investors, Shulman Rogers, Refraction. I'm here at Refraction, and our CEO, Esther Lee, is offering 2 months free rent for anyone who wants to sign a 1-year lease. This is the top co-working space in the DC area. So Esther, you can put some information on the event into the chat box. Not the event, but on your offer. We want to thank the Baltimore Angels, Georgetown Entrepreneurship Initiative, Founder Institute, SAPA, FITCI, the Maryland Tech Council Venture Mentoring Services, the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Maryland, Institute for Excellence in Sales, National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, Center for Advancing Innovation, U.S. International Development Center, POBI, MIT Alumni Angels of Washington, D.C., the annual Wharton D.C. seminar. I'm sorry, it's their forum, multi-day forum, and the Monty J. Greater Washington, D.C. Science and Technology Association. I want to thank all those guys. We really appreciate all of your support. And also want to thank you guys for answering the poll. We can take the poll down, Sky, and we can get started. So to introduce our first batch of presenters, I'd love to introduce longtime CONNECTpreneur partner Anthony Millen of Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Anthony is a serial entrepreneur. He is a venture capitalist. He's a partner in the VC firm of Urban Us. He's also the founder of Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, which offers a disruptive way to deliver startup law to early stage companies. They offer packaged offerings on a fixed price basis. And also, congratulations, Anthony. Next was recently selected by Law.com and Legal Week as the Startup Emerging Growth Company Law Firm of the Year. And you guys beat out several huge and well-known law firms. So congrats and welcome, Anthony. We appreciate your support.
Great. Thank you, Tien. And thank you to the entire CONNECTpreneur team for today's event. We are very honored to be a longtime sponsor and supporter of CONNECTpreneur, a leading global event connecting entrepreneurs, investors, and other members of the startup ecosystem. As Tien mentioned, Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, is an innovative new model for delivering legal services from launch through each stage of growth and is being designed from an entrepreneur's perspective. Next offers predictable and reasonable legal fees through fixed price packages and service bundles. Our clients work directly with seasoned attorneys through a hands-on legal services model. And Next integrates robust technology platform to create a client-centric experience that is collaborative, efficient, and transparent. And for more information on Next, please visit us at www.next.law. So the first company that I have the honor of introducing today is Caring Closures. Caring Closures expects to transform public health and consumer product safety through patented innovation, modernizing 50-year-old child safety packaging across a broad universe of consumer product categories. Please welcome David Sneed, Strategic Finance Manager of Caring Closures.
Thanks, Anthony, and thanks to CONNECTpreneur for having us present today. I'm David Sneed, the Strategic Finance Manager at Caring Closures. We are modernizing proven but forgotten 1960s era early interventions in access control, saving billions of dollars and millions of teens and kids in epidemic scale public health problems. Like the opioid epidemic, where sneaking pills a few at a time, whether in a long-term care setting for our seniors, shared living situations like campus housing, or our households, is not just the leading source of diversion, but the #1 source for teen drug abuse in the country since 2012. Pilfering is almost twice the rate at which teens buy drugs from a drug dealer. Separately, with gummies and other innovations in over-the-counter drugs and supplements, every 8 minutes a child goes to the ER from a drug or supplement poisoning, and every 12 seconds a child is poisoned by a common household product. These problems cost our economy tens of billions annually. We're starting with prescription drugs with our SafeRx brand of locking prescription vials, pictured on the left of your screen. These are used by pharmacies in dispensing of controlled substances behind the counter with a 4-digit PIN and 10,000 combinations. Our SafeRx line has a $5 billion revenue potential globally and will prevent 7 million 12 to 17-year-olds from initiating drug abuse over 10 years in the US. We expect to roll out our patented cap and closure technology more broadly across consumer product packaging via the licensing of our 11 patents. Our licensing business at maturity is worth around $890 million per year in royalty distributions from high margin royalties. And we can create a world in which kids don't ever go to the hospital again from a poisoning event. We've established ourselves as a market leader, and we've created the category. With account leadership in our SafeRx lines and growing media recognition, we finished last year with around $250,000 in revenue and are budgeting 67% growth in 2022 and as much as $46 million in revenue in 2026. And we expect to own this market as we create it with 11 issued patents and substantial cost advantages. Our closest SafeRx competitor spends $4 just to make their parts. Our fully assembled cost is 45 cents. So we have several pending reimbursement tests and pilot studies starting this year, but I want to highlight our partnership with CMS, that is Medicare and Medicaid, who will be testing for reimbursement this year via their quality improvement organization, Mountain Pacific Quality Health. They are testing all controlled substances at a rate of 450 per fill, which provides a 61% blended fill margin to the dispensing pharmacy, sufficient to incentivize every pharmacy to participate. We'll sign the MOU in April, with dispensing commencing later this year, ultimately leading to a reimbursement decision as early as first half of 2023, likely catalyzing nationwide adoption. So we're in the final stages of closing on a $6 million convertible note. We really like the terms of this deal and are considering accepting another $500,000 to $1 million under the same terms. If you do have an interest, please reach out, as we only intend to offer this deal for a few more weeks. We're looking for mission-aligned individuals and family offices so that we can maintain our LLC structure for tax-efficient future royalty distributions. Thank you, and we hope to see you in the breakout room.
Great. Thank you very much, David. I now have the privilege of introducing IGO. IGO is a medtech startup based in Denmark developing disruptive eye care technologies that improve the quality of life of people around the world suffering from severe chronic eye conditions. Please welcome Enrique Nigel, CEO of IGO.
Thank you. IGO is based in Denmark, developing disruptive eye care technologies that improve quality of life for people around the world suffering from severe and chronic eye disease. At the moment, regardless of type of chronic eye disease, the medication target, only a small fraction of the end user will receive the full punch of the treatment. The illustration shows that real-life barriers impede the drug efficacy, around 50% performance. The main reason for this low performance is the current delivery system, the eye drop bottle. Just to mention a few of the barriers: hard to pinch and aim for the bottle. You thought you got treatment, but you didn't. Over-medication, side effects, and so on. This is not only a problem from the patients, who get worse and may end up blind, but also for society. MISCO is a total new generation of delivery systems, taking the medication management to a whole new level. MISCO removed all the barriers. Let me show how it works.
Behind here we have a counter to show how much is left. Take out the left. You load the device. Indicator shows now it's ready. Put the eye interface to your eye and push the button forward. And you do exactly the same for the other eye.
Our target group is chronic eye disease, as glaucoma and dry eye disease in US that require prescription drugs. In US alone, the market size of glaucoma is $3.2 billion. All long-term eye care treatments that require medication by a delivery system is our business opportunity. For instance, a big upcoming market in US, presbyopia, is estimated to be twice in size in value compared to glaucoma. Our product MISCO offers a superior solution to all the problems on the market today. Ultimate doses with precise installation every time, an eye interface that avoid all the contamination and touching the eye surface, easy and comfortable to use, minimizing systemic exposure, and due to the product technology is compatible with preservative-free substance. We have valid patents in US, Europe, and Japan. We have a functional prototype, and we have very positive feedback from human studies and end users. For that reason, pharma companies have a high intention to us, a high interest in us. We have initial talks with customers, and we expect in the near future to close the first customer's deal. We have 90 years of experience from the healthcare industry. We can take the product to the market. We have done it before, bringing game-changing products to the market. After product validation, we expect to launch in 2024. We estimate that in 2024, we will achieve a revenue of $21 million and an EBITDA of $7 million. And in 2028, a revenue of $149 million in revenue and EBITDA of $134 million. We expect to exit to a pharma company. The investment we are looking for is $3.3 million, $2 million for new investors. At the same time, our current investor will come with $1.3 million. We are shaping the future of eye treatment. Looking forward to see you afterwards in the outbreak rooms. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Henri. I would now like to introduce Gilgamed. Gilgamed has developed a novel compound with properties unmatched by any reported compound that is highly protective in animal models for both dementia and stroke with no apparent toxic effects. Please welcome Charles Mobb, founder of Gilgamed.
Thank you. Gilgamed is a drug discovery company that focuses on age-related diseases. Today, I will talk about just one drug that we have developed, which is highly protective in animal models of both dementia and stroke. Dementia alone already costs the American health system over $1 trillion a year, and stroke is not far behind. Although there are FDA-approved drugs for these conditions, clinicians are pretty much in universal agreement that the protective effects of these drugs are really not clinically significant. So as just an illustration of what is happening in these conditions, this would be a healthy neuron with lots of processes, but neurons from patients with dementia are highly atrophied and indeed eventually die. And you see very much the same thing occurring in stroke. Our solution has been to develop novel, high-throughput, disease-relevant phenotypic assays for both dementia and stroke. The compound I'll be talking about today, GM310, has highly protective properties that have never been reported for any other compound. It delays impairments in an animal model of dementia, completely protects in a mouse model of stroke, reduces neuroinflammation, which drives both conditions, over 90%, is highly concentrated in the brain after oral delivery, and increases lifespan with minimum toxicity. So conversely, you can imagine neurons that have been treated with GM310 become more functional, and we expect the same thing to be the case in stroke. As I indicated already, dementia costs the American health system over $1 trillion a year and is expected to exceed $2 trillion by 2030. As I indicated, stroke is not far behind. And again, there really are no effective drugs for these conditions, although they have been approved by the FDA, but clinically, they don't really do very much. So nevertheless, of course, with such a large market, there are many companies that are trying to develop drugs that are protective. However, obviously, as I say, none of those have been shown to be protective in human clinical situations, and none of them have all these properties that GM310 has. We have 6 patents pending. We've done all the key animal and cell culture studies necessary to engage the FDA for approval for an IND study in humans, and we are already in discussions with our strategic partners to begin carrying out the clinical trials. Our team has more than 60 years experience in the pharmaceutical space, and we have already founded 3 companies and gotten at least 7 drugs through clinical trials. We will be required to carry out small animal studies by the FDA, and we will be seeking funding for those small animal studies. And each year, we will only proceed if we hit the appropriate milestones. We expect the FDA to approve the IND within 3 years, and we expect then to carry out the clinical trials. That obviously will take a lot more money, but compared to $1 trillion market, not that much money. The investors, however, will be able to have an exit probably by 2027. That could occur either because of acquisition or an IPO, more likely. I look forward to discussing this with you in the breakout rooms. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Charles. Next, I would like to introduce Medwatch Technologies. Medwatch Technologies is a medical device manufacturer that is developing a non-invasive continuous glucose monitoring device that is accompanied by healthcare SaaS platform. Please welcome Mcguire, CEO of Medwatch Technologies.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm sure many of you are aware that diabetes is a global pandemic, but let's put a little perspective to it. If you thought COVID-19 was bad, with nearly 2 million deaths over the last 2 years, it doesn't compare to diabetes. Diabetes kills one person every 5 seconds, which equates to almost 7 million deaths in 2021 alone. Monitoring diabetes is painful, inconvenient, and expensive. Imagine having to stick your finger 4 times a day to collect a blood sample. Imagine the inconvenience of wearing a patch all the time and catching it on something. It too can be painful and intrusive. And this leads to poor compliance and significant health consequences. It's been stated there's got to be a better way. Well, if you're like me, I think you'll agree we have a better way. We have a watch that will provide non-invasive continuous glucose monitoring. And no more finger sticks and no more patches, and it's significantly cheaper. Our device is as easy as wearing a watch because it is a watch. With our healthcare SaaS platform, we will monitor your glucose levels every 5 minutes. That's 288 times a day, and we will provide that information to you and your healthcare providers at your choosing. The data will enable you to take control of your diabetes by having timely and accurate readings. 9% of the world's population lives with diabetes. That's 537 million people. Think about that, 500 million people. 500 million people live with diabetes. Medwatch will improve the lives of millions of people. If you're like me, you'll know that's a worthwhile investment. There are other solutions to monitoring diabetes, but as I discussed, finger sticks and the patches, they're painful, expensive, very inconvenient. We will be the first non-invasive continuous glucose monitoring device that will fit into a watch. We expect FDA approval in approximately 14 months, and we have patent pending. Our team and advisory board have deep experience in medicine, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and software. The team has completed FDA clinical trials on medical devices and have many publications on glucose-related research. Collectively, we have 10 exits, 26 acquisitions, 8 spinoffs, and have raised $3 to $4 billion. We have a very simple revenue model. Revenue will be generated from watch sales and from our healthcare SaaS platform. We conservatively expect to produce revenues approaching $700 million in 5 years with over $300 million in EBITDA. We are seeking seed funding of $3 million that will be used for research, development, operational overhead, and gaining FDA approval. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I look forward to you joining us on this journey to make life better for people suffering from diabetes, and we will see you in our breakout room. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mike. I would now like to introduce Nodalist Therapeutics. Nodalist Therapeutics is a late clinical stage company with 2 cleared phase 2b/3 INDs for PTSD and panic disorder, 8 issued patents, and an exclusive licensing agreement with Harvard University on the use of xenon for treatment of PTSD, PD, and other indications. Please welcome Vlad Bogan, founder and CEO of Nodalist Therapeutics.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Nodalist Therapeutics is a clinical stage company that is developing new treatments for psychiatric disorders using noble gases. Our beachhead indication is post-traumatic stress disorder. We are, as I mentioned already, a late-stage company. The prevalence of PTSD is tremendous. It's over 6% in the United States, and 15 million of patients suffer from this disease at the current time. The U.S. government spends over $3 billion, and as you can see, the market is quite large, and we have a tremendous unmet need because there's no effective pharmacotherapy at the moment. We have a drug-device combination with inhaled therapeutic based on xenon gas, and I'll talk about this a little later. We have 8 issued patents. We have licensing agreement of Harvard University for an issued patent, which covers psychiatric and neurodegenerative disorders. So what is xenon? Xenon is a noble gas that has absolutely amazing and unique biological properties. It is exceptionally safe. It's been approved as a general anesthetic. We're using it at much lower concentrations. It is a non-psychomimetic. It's not habit-forming, and it actually crosses the blood-brain barrier in about 15 seconds. It is an NMDA receptor blocker, same as ketamine, but without all the side effects. And it does not metabolize in the body. It is inhaled and exhaled without going through the liver or the kidneys. We have a device that has an approved patent for inhalation of this drug. This is the first device for inhaled noble gases that has been cleared by by the FDA for a clinical trial. And it is very easy to use. Basically, you put it into your mouth and inhale and exhale without any difficulties. And we have a single cartridge for a single dose that is loaded in. And again, we have a working prototype for this device, and it is patent approved. We have 2 clinical trials that have been IND cleared for phase 2b/3 studies in post-traumatic stress disorder and panic disorder. We're currently running a small study in Parkinson's disease. We have completed an 80-patient study in panic disorder, and we have additional indications that we're very much interested in pursuing later. So, talking about the market, just for one indication, with a 5% market share, we're looking at $1 billion drug with a 10% market share, which is quite attainable given that there are no competitors on the market at this time. We're looking at $2.5 billion drug. This is our team. We've all participated in biotech and pharma companies with successful exits. We have, a total of 60 years of experience between us. This is our advisory board that consists of scientists from Harvard, Imperial College of London, Emory, Michigan, etc. And those are the top experts in the field. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a $15 million raise. This is a Series A raise. As you can see, we are going to be spending most of the resources on the PTSD clinical trial. We're a very lean company, and we do not expect a high burn rate, and we expect an exit upon completion of the phase 2b/3 clinical trial. Our pre-money valuation is $25 million. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in a breakout room.
Terrific. Great job, Vlad. I'd like to put up our first investor poll. This is for our investors only. So we're going to do 3 polls. So today, the first one is going to have our first 5 presenters. The next poll will be after number 9, and the final poll will be after number 13. So this is for investors only. So if you're interested in learning more about each of these companies, please indicate. Again, we'll keep these results confidential. We will only share them with the presenting companies. Just a reminder that breakout rooms will open up after the last presenter, and you will be able to go in and out of whatever breakout room you like, assuming you have the latest version of Zoom. But you'll be able to ask questions of these presenting companies. And also, as a reminder, if you're interested in any presenting company, many of them will be hosting their own 1-hour meetings over the next 2 weeks. So hopefully they'll put information into the chat box about their upcoming events, and you can ask about it in the breakout room, and Skyra will send out a recap tomorrow with those of our presenters who want to do this additional deep dive meeting or two. She'll put that information in. Also, just one final reminder before we go into breakout rooms, make sure you download the chat history so you have it. We have hundreds of messages in the chat box right now, so you don't want to miss anything. You can go back and read it later. We'll keep the poll open for another 15, 20 seconds. Sky, I still see results coming in. So again, this is for investors only. After this, we have 8 more presenters. So why don't we close the poll out now, Sky, and I'll turn it back over to Anthony Millen, who will introduce our next presenter.
Great, thank you, Tien. I now have the privilege of introducing Shopraise. Shopraise is a transformational social impact growth stage startup that uses affiliate relationships to turn everyday shopping into a new revenue stream for nonprofits and causes. Please welcome Sean Coulisa, co-founder and CEO of Shopraise.
Thank you so much. As I'm here to talk to you about Shopraise, where we turn everyday shopping into support for your favorite cause. The nonprofit sector is facing an unprecedented number of challenges. Nonprofits are relying on a declining pool of older donors and are struggling to engage younger donors with traditional fundraising methods. Supporters have the desire to support their favorite cause, but lack the funds to do so. And retailers are seeking ways to increase online sales and goodwill by partnering with some of these popular causes. This has created a multi-billion-dollar untapped opportunity. The nonprofit, the Shopraise takes advantage of the $870 billion in online shopping to turn everyday shopping into fundraising dollars. What we do is we allow nonprofits to expand their donor base while creating a new stream of revenue. We give supporters a no-cost way to support their cause by buying things that they already buy. And we help retailers sell more products while building goodwill in the community. We call this shopping with purpose. Shopraise leverages affiliate marketing to make shopping with purpose both simple and easy. We earn commissions from retailers for sales generated by referrals. So here's how it works. Basically, supporters download the Shopraise app on both mobile and desktop. They then use that app to shop at over 1,200 participating retailers. And then the retailers pay us a commission for each transaction, which then Shopraise splits with the cause. It's literally that easy. Shopraise works in the affiliate marketplace, which generated over $10 billion in commissions in 2021 and is expected to grow to over $14 billion in commissions by 2024. Our target market includes over 100 million potential users in the United States who are online shoppers and who have a high desire to support their cause. Shopraise currently has a first mover advantage. We have no significant direct competition in the nonprofit market space. Our proprietary platform brings that unique feature set that our nonprofits currently don't have. They don't have a shopping program in their fundraising model. And our unique partnership approach helps us build those long-term barriers to entry by forming long-lasting relationships with retailers and nonprofits. Nonprofits only need to have one shopping program in their arsenal. Over the last few years, our founders have invested over $4 million in research and development of the Shopraise platform. Since our latest release in Q4 2021, we've partnered with hundreds of new nonprofits. We've signed up thousands of users and we've had hundreds of transactions. We're really now perfectly placed and positioned to take advantage of this opportunity, and we are poised for explosive growth. With this investment, we expect to have over 100,000 users and generate over $10 million by the end of year one, and grow to over 1 million users and $100 million in revenue by the end of year 4. Users in our model will average 3 transactions and generate over $13 in revenue per user per month. Shopraise has recruited a fantastic and experienced management and advisory team, and we have many, many decades of experience in things like fundraising, startups, technology, and the nonprofit sector. We're currently asking for a $5 million, which a fundraising round is in progress right now. And we're going to be using these funds in order to expand our user base, enhance our product, and fuel our explosive growth. And I invite you all to become part of the Shopraise opportunity. So again, thank you so much for letting me present today, and I look forward to meeting you in our breakout room.
Great, thank you, Sean. I now have the privilege of introducing Sst Wireless. SST has removed the barriers to IoT adoption by small to medium-sized industrial companies by developing a robust line of industrial-grade wireless plug-and-play sensors and gateways that are affordable and available to SMEs as a subscription. Please welcome Chris Chung, President, CEO of Sst Wireless.
Thank you, Anthony. Hello, everyone. I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit and talk about something that you may not hear all about, which is the industrial IoT marketplace, or what they call Industry 4.0, one of the fastest growing sectors. And I want to tell you what SST is doing to change this marketplace radically. So I want to start off with our current round, which is at 1.75 million Series A. We have 345,000 left, and the SPV, which is being launched by Southern Ocean Ventures, goes live on Saturday. So if you are interested and if you've been following SST for a little while, that window of opportunity is going to close soon. So let's get into what we do. We started our life working with customers to solve problems that they have in their industrial equipment and machines and vehicles with wireless sensors. And what we found out as we went along is that there's a bigger picture, the bigger problem, which is that small companies that are using equipment want to also use data to better manage and operate their machines, but they're not. Less than 10% are doing it. So the question was why? What are the barriers that are keeping these smaller companies that can benefit the most from using these technologies that are available? One, the current industrial marketplace for sensing and control and automation is really complicated, really expensive. And once they have the data, they don't have enough different types of data to get into what we call the machine learning cycle, predictive analytics, and so on. So this is why small companies are not doing it. So we decided to turn the tables around and create something called industrial IoT for everyone. Instead of a complicated system, a simple wireless sensor. This is a municipal water pump. This is what you need to flush your toilets and get water out of your taps. Simple solution, self-serve, done. We turned a very high intensive capital outlay into a subscription-based model. And then we help our customers with the data. Many of you might have seen these kind of dashboard concepts. We've taken a bit further. We're actually capturing the trainable event. When things happen to a machine, we want to know what happened and what the data is. We aggregate that amongst all of our customers, and we can now offer them the big data that they've been really hungering for. So a lot of use cases, huge market, billions of dollars at stake. And here's where we've made some progress here. This is last month. We delivered 28 buses with our monitoring for wheels to the city of Detroit, and I was there to do it. So basically, we're saving them a lot of money, reducing a lot of labor, and we work with the largest bus manufacturer in North America, 65%, and we are the only approved product. That's a huge step in a market that's worth probably about $1.5 billion. A lot of machines use oil and water mixture to cool down things like saw blades. In this application, we were able to reduce that by 66% and also reduce accidents and explosions and fires. So this company is very happy with what we're doing, and we're rolling it out a lot more. Here's another example where machines that are volatile, that could have issues with fire and explosions, we're able to provide an additional safety and also decrease downtime, which costs people thousands of dollars per minute in a production like this. So you can see that we're making traction and we have a lot of customers. This is my personal thing right now I'm on. There are 10,000 small cities in US and Canada that are underfunded. They have aging equipment that they're having a hard time maintaining because they don't know what's going on. And they also have a workforce that's aging out. So right now we're working with these small cities to use our technologies to capture the data, get all the knowledge that these people have that are working on the machines, and aggregate that into our platform. So this is a big thing for me that I'm really working hard to see if we can make this happen in the next few years. Our go-to-market, you can't just kind of come onto the scene and be everywhere for everyone. So what we have done is over the years, we started working with OEMs. So big names, lots of volumes, we're integrating our products. So what we've done now is gone into working with enterprise customers where we're actually integrating data into their platforms. So based on those experiences and the scale and credibility that we've developed, now we're going after the SME market, which is 98%. A lot of different distribution channels, self-serve models. All these particular aspects of SST are in play and working. We're just now trying to scale up. We have a small team. One of the use case for the remaining funds that we're raising is to put a sales and marketing team so we can get out there and create those relationships and get those partners going. During COVID, our revenues were a little bit flat, but we're seeing a huge resurfacing of customers coming back to us saying, remember that project we were talking about? So we have one with a port, which handles container ships. And they're putting our sensors on 110 of their cranes that are responsible for doing all the work. And that's over a $500,000 project right there for one port. So that kind of project we're seeing in our pipeline right now. As you see, we have a robust line of products, which means that we can get into a customer with one particular thing, but we can cross-sell and upsell. We have a growing list of marquee customers that are recognizable in terms of brands. We also have a platform that's been built in AWS, and this is kind of secret sauce. This is actually a lot harder to do than you think to make it easy for people. And we have some really interesting things. Next time you're in Florida on a Walt Disney World ride, maybe it's one of our sensors that are keeping you safe. So we like to contribute to that way as well. We have some news and coverage as we go along, so people are understanding what we do and the importance that industrial IoT is going to have on everyone's lives. So I thank you very much for your time. Please join me in the breakout room. I'll also post my contact details, and I look forward to engaging with you. Remember, only $345,000 left. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Chris. Appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys have seen Chris before, and I'm just blown away by the great progress that he's been making over the years. Our next 5 presenters will be introduced by Matthew Allison of Nempho Sprout. Matthew supports clients across a number of industries while leveraging his background in M&A, financing, and corporate governance. He also has experience collaborating on deal terms and managing multiple client requests throughout the deal life process. Matthew graduated summa cum laude from the University of Baltimore School of Law, where he was also editor-in-chief for the University of Baltimore Law Review. Before getting his law degree, Matthew was a federal law enforcement officer for the U.S. Secret Service in Washington, D.C. for more than 8 years, responsible for controlling access to the White House complex, among other duties. And Matthew, thank you for your service, and thank you for your support of CONNECTpreneur, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Deanna. I really appreciate those kind words, and thank you to everyone that's participating today. At NB Law, we strongly believe in encouraging the entrepreneurial spirit, and are really excited to hear from today's presenters. To share a little bit more about our law firm, at Nempho Sprout, our attorneys all come from big law firms and help use that expertise to provide a more customized, boutique-level service to all of our clients. We believe in building true strategic relationships to help our clients grow. We handle all areas of corporate law, including trademarks, copyrights, patents, and other intellectual property, capital raises, joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions, and have experience across multiple industries ranging from healthcare and technology to consumer goods and manufacturing. I'm really delighted and thankful to have the opportunity to introduce all of the following presentations. Next up, we will hear about Tradian. Tradian's Nexus Energy and ecosystem is the only all-in-one energy storage and electric vehicle charging platform, the only system available through a monthly subscription service, and the only one engineered around second life batteries. Tradian aims to deliver the world's only fully integrated and intelligent energy platform that is designed to be accessible to everyone. Today, we'll hear from Joshua Basmo, founder and CEO.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm Josh, the founder and CEO of Tradian. By 2030, there will be up to 50 million EVs in the US. It is projected that about 70 to 80% of all EV charging will actually happen at home, requiring about 20 million EV chargers to be installed over the next couple of years. Additionally, EVs are only able to utilize about 20% of the useful life of their batteries. This is because as the battery goes through charge and discharge cycles, it starts to degrade, directly affecting the range of the EV, meaning that the EV batteries are being replaced with about 80% of the useful life remaining in them. These are known as second life batteries. And unfortunately today, the vast majority of these batteries end up as a toxic mess in landfills. The solution is Nexus. Nexus is an integrated platform that first comes with an EV charger to support the growing and rapid demand for EV chargers. Secondly, Nexus has integrated energy storage that is engineered specifically to work with second life batteries. This entire solution then is provided and installed to the consumer and available through a simple monthly subscription. The rapid adoption of EVs has created an incredible market opportunity. By 2030, the home EV charging market is projected to exceed $30 billion. The home energy storage market has grown by over 200% year over year since 2019 and will exceed $17 billion. Tradian is uniquely positioned to service where these two market segments intersect: energy storage and EV charging, estimated to be worth over $12 billion over the next couple of years. There are a number of indirect competitors. However, Tradian is very uniquely positioned in the market. Each existing competitor today does one of the two things that we do. They either provide energy storage or EV charging. Tradian does energy storage and EV charging integrated together, available to the consumer through a simple monthly subscription. Installed. Existing products today are very expensive and are priced at a point where most consumers are not able to access them. Today, we have reached a number of milestones. We have a working, completed prototype. If you're watching my video, you might be able to see it behind me on the wall behind me, where we actually have 2 Tesla Model S battery packs that we're using and testing and developing from as we go. There's a number of patentable technologies within our platform to protect our competitive position in the market. As well as we have key technology and strategic relationships that are in place or being developed. Tradion is a team. We're a team of founders, each with a diverse background and decades of experience in technology and business development. We're supported by an incredible team of advisors consisting of CEOs, founder CEOs, and former state senators. Combined, we have over 8 startups founded with $1 billion worth of exits. Our go-to-market strategy is hardware as a service. And we sell through a value-added reseller channel, leveraging local electrical contractors as our primary point of entry and our primary sales and installation support. Our pricing model is structured so that our base system costs less than what the average consumer spends a month on gasoline. Each unit is projected to generate around $15,000 in profit over the lifetime of its use. We have invested so far over $120,000, where we are seeking $1 million in investment used to complete our MVP and to enter the market. I look very much to talking with all of you in the breakout rooms. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh. Our next presenter will be from TrainPain. TrainPain is a digital health company reimagining chronic pain care, developing the first product to use gamified sensory perception exercise to objectively quantify and retrain sensory function. Their neuroplasty training technology helps improve function in brain circuits that modulate pain. Please welcome CEO and clinician Dr. Elan Schneider.
Hello, my name is Dr. Elan Schneider. I'm a physical therapist specializing in treatment of chronic pain, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of TrainPain, a digital health startup that is combining neuroscience and gaming to reimagine therapy for chronic pain. Every single person on this call either has chronic pain or knows someone with chronic pain. And while it's invisible to the eye, chronic pain can be absolutely horrific, as this patient art demonstrates. We now know that most chronic pain is sustained by changes in the central nervous system. The brain circuits that normally turn the volume down on sensations don't work as well. It's like the volume knob gets stuck on 10 without the ability to turn it down. Studies show that we can rehabilitate these brain circuits with neuroplasticity exercises and reduce pain. But these exercises require thousands of repetitions and the assistance of a trained therapist to deliver. We set out to make a technology that would deliver this evidence-based approach in a more feasible, fun, and effective way. Our patented technology is the first to enable patients to perform sensory neuroplasticity exercises at home. The patient performs gamified sensory perception tasks that have been shown in neuroimaging studies to activate inhibitory circuits in the sensory regions of the brain. Patients train for once a day, 15 minutes for 12 weeks. Brain data is collected, analyzed, and the training is adapted according to the patient's unique sensory profile. The TrainPain device, which we are currently manufacturing, can be produced for about $30 at scale. Our early clinical trials have shown that the training is easy to do, fun, and has excellent retention. As one subject said, it's become part of my routine and I look forward to it. We've also shown that the training results in meaningful clinical impact. As one subject described, I haven't touched water in 2 years because brushing of water against my skin sends electric shocks through my arms. Today I cleaned 3 huge windows, all without gloves. We are also in the early stages of biomarker development and produce a completely novel set of brain data that in early studies, it differentiates groups of healthy participants from chronic pain patients. Our expert team includes the former chief of game design from Google, the former creative director of Candy Crush, and a pain professor who is the world leader in brain changes and pain, who has over 35,000 citations on his pain research papers. Our tech team integrates Israeli and Palestinian engineers with deep expertise in haptics, software, and algorithm development, and our business team has experts who held senior roles at Amgen and Novartis who specialize in bringing digital therapeutics to market. We have ongoing and planned research collaborations with some of the world's largest leading hospitals, academic institutions, and HMOs with millions of members, and we've been selected as the finalist in 2 pharma-sponsored competitions for Best Digital Health Pain Solution. Our go-to-market plan involves a phased approach. We'll start with a small B2C launch to demonstrate product market fit and then collaborate with B2B partners to scale up. We're already in discussion with global distribution partners and are collaborating with universities for grant-funded clinical trials. This is our high-level roadmap. In the next 12 months, we'll be completing our software, producing 1,000 devices, initiating B2C sales, and we will start our first commercial pilot with a B2B partner. Our 5-year projections, based on our network and sales benchmarks from other companies in the space, are to serve 650,000 patients with $88 million in annual revenue by year 5. We are currently raising a seed equity round of $1.73 million on an $8.5 million pre-money valuation. $1 million is already committed. And investors in this round include Professor Amnon Shashua, who has the biggest exit in Israeli history, and Professor Raz Yirmiyah, a world-renowned neuroscientist. If you want to learn more about our mission to reimagine pain care, I invite you to join me in the breakout room to continue the conversation. Thanks.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Elan. I'd like to put up the second investor poll now. This is for the last 4 presenters, so we will keep these results confidential. This is for investors only, so if you're not an investor, please do not participate in this poll. So we have Shopraise, Sst Wireless, Tradion, and Train Pain. Just as a reminder, we have 4 more presenters. We will do a final poll after the last presenter for the final 4 presenters, and then we'll do a second sponsored poll, and then we'll open up the breakout rooms. And we'll have 13 breakout rooms. Each one is hosted by one of our presenting companies, and you'll be able to go in and out of whatever breakout rooms you like. And make sure you download the chat history and save it before you go into a breakout room. I still see some results coming in, so we'll keep the poll up for a few more seconds. Last call for anybody, any investors interested, please let us know, and we'll make sure you're connected with the presenting companies. Anyone else? Okay, thank you guys for participating, and bring back Matthew, who will introduce our last 4 presenters. Matthew.
Thank you, Dan. All right, for our next presentations, it's a pleasure to introduce co-founder and CEO John Mcguire from TripEmit. TripEmit has developed an easy-to-use end-to-end booking platform to create, manage, distribute, and sell tours and activities from a single platform, with all setup and integration included. Please welcome John Mcguire.
Thank you, Matthew. 25 years ago, the hotel and airline industries started their migration online. And today, the tours and activities industry is in the exact same place. However, with the advent of the pandemic, it took less than a year to shift the demand to online. By way of introduction to the market, activities such as tours of the Coulisa or tickets to the Statue of Liberty are the 3rd largest sector within the travel industry, bigger than car hire, cruises, and package holidays combined. It is a global market worth $240 billion per annum. The days of walk-up business for the 1 million activity providers in the world are gone. Planning ahead and pre-booking are now a must. Activity providers are now scrambling to digitize as the world begins to reopen. Our solution is a plug-and-play booking software for tour and activity providers and airlines to create, manage, distribute, and sell tour and activity products from a single platform, and we do all the setup and integration for them. Our advantage is we have built and own our exclusive airline distribution network. We target our airline partners' route networks to sign up activity providers. We allow airlines to directly onboard their own partners to earn even more ancillary revenue per customer. Our primary activity provider customers are hungry to digitize and adopt new technology, while our airline distribution partners already garner significant ancillary revenue from hotels, car hire, and insurance, but have not yet had a proper solution to explore the revenue potential of the activities sector. The competitive landscape has some big players like Viator and Expedia, However, most offer a single solution and do not offer an end-to-end solution like we do. We provide the tourists to activity providers and allow airlines to earn even more money from direct relationships. We're now ready to scale TripAdmit. We currently have over 100 reservation system clients and have a model in place for repeatable growth. While on the other side, we have 6 airline contracts signed flying 91 million passengers, 5 further contracts issued flying 45 million passengers, and 26 more airlines at an advanced stage of negotiation. We will be number 1 in this space relatively soon. We have a great founding team at TripAdmit. I myself have over 25 years experience in online sales and marketing. I've designed and marketed airlingus.com, Ticketmaster and O2 websites, as Group E-commerce Director for Smartbox and VP of Sales and Marketing at City Wonders. My co-founder Andy has 15 years experience working with APIs and artificial intelligence. He's a full stack developer by trade and has worked at Communicore, Microsoft and Sagen. Our board also includes one of our investors, Thomas Jones, who is also a venture partner at Motley Fool Ventures. In total, we have a team of 15 that come from Airbnb, Travelport and more. Over this and the next 2 years, we're aiming to scale the rollout of both our reservation system and white label products to grow to 12 airlines by the end of 2024. We will ramp up our reservation system sales team to finish this year with 268 clients and to over 2,800 by the end of 2024. This will lead to revenues of 1.6 million this year, 14.4 million next year, and 24 million the year after. While we will make a loss this year, we aim to be profitable next year with an EBITDA of just over 4 million. We are targeting raising a bridge round of up to 500,000. This will allow us the space to prepare for our next round, which is likely to be a Series A, and to achieve 6 airline customers live, 200 reservation system clients live, and grow our team from 15 currently to a total of 25. And then lastly, just this week, we have agreed with Hotel Planner, the Florida-based OTA, to power their tours and activities offering across their network. I'd like to say thank you very much for your time and look forward to seeing you in the breakout room later on.
Thank you very much, John. Our next presentation will be Visero Incorporated. Visero is pioneering the development of next-generation nanobody therapies to address unmet medical needs. Their work includes customized delivery systems to enhance safety and reduce risk, a diverse library of development candidates to maximize the probability of success, and a novel technology platform. Please welcome founder and CEO, Dr. Vikram Kansra.
Thank you, Matthew, and good morning to you all, and happy to be here and share the Visero vision. Visero, by definition, is derived from a Latin word that means to conquer. And we are right in the midst of one of the hottest areas in oncology, which is immunotherapy. And Visero's aim is to reshape immunotherapy. And the reason we want to reshape immunotherapy is because while immunotherapy is effective, immunotherapy is not cost effective. It's not going to the next slide. Okay. And the way we plan to do this is using a revolutionary technology called nanobodies. And nanobodies, as we like to call them internally as smart antibodies, these are fragments of antibodies that can be used to bind multiple targets and then deliver a pathological response. So let's look at the problem. Immunotherapy works, but it's not cost effective. Drugs like Keytruda, they cost about $150,000 a year for treatment. Patients typically are put on a single monotherapy because the cost of combination is prohibitive. And that's really sad. Science should be driving how the therapeutic options are chosen and not costs. And this is where nanobodies come in, because nanobodies, A, they're cheap to make, B, they are highly potent, so the dose required to deliver pharmacological activity is very low. And most importantly, we can actually make combinations of nanobodies and thereby engage multiple targets and basically reverse the pathology. The market size and the opportunity is huge. Just the 4 drugs on the right show today that they make sales of about $45 billion and are expected to grow to about $70 billion. And within Visero's portfolio, we actually have nanobodies for each of these, leading drugs. So we believe that with our combination approach of the nanobodies, that we're going to basically change or reshape how immunotherapy is going to be implemented. Here is an example of a nanobody. It's a simple cartoonistic representation, but basically it shows the idea. It's a small fragment, and you can actually join these fragments and thereby engage not just one target, but 2 targets or even 3 targets simultaneously. As a company, we are very deeply rooted in science. We have collaborations with some of the best and brightest universities and minds who are working very closely with us. We have a very strong IP position, and we are expanding our IP real estate. From a series or a funding strategy, we're basically looking to raise a Series A today, and the amount that we are planning to raise is about $30 million. The seed funding for the company has been, done by myself. I've put in about close to $1 million. And the reason for that is because the science is stellar, and we believe that we are about to change how immunotherapy is going to be implemented. As a team, this is a very seasoned team. We brought 10 drugs to the market, some of the best drugs, blockbuster drugs, and myself and my co-founder, Juan Carlos, we are very committed to getting Visero not just funded, but basically bringing these assets to the clinic and to the patients. As I mentioned previously, we are looking to raise $30 million. We want to actively move 2 of our lead programs rapidly into the clinic, and we have a roadmap to achieve this. We want to file an IND within 12 months, complete a proof of concept within 24 months, and file a BLA within 5 years. As a team, we've done this before for other companies, and we're going to do it for us as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. Our next presentation will be for VK Digital Health. VK Digital Health develops and provides care solutions for telehealth vendors. Their platform blends telehealth, remote patient monitoring, care management, and telediagnostics for general wellness and chronic care patients. Please welcome co-founder and CEO Charles Mahdim.
Thank you. We have 2 platforms that take quality healthcare access to patients. We complement current telehealth and enable the first comprehensive, remotely controlled physical exam. Let me tell you my story. My parents are from Armenia. I'm one of 8 kids, and Mom did not drive. So every time we got sick, Dad had to take us to the town next door where the family doctor was and leave us shop. Even then, I knew there must be a better way to get health care. Today, we can envision solutions, and that is why VK Digital Health was founded. The pandemic brought telehealth to the forefront and worked well for advice. But from one telehealth call to the other, there is little, if any, continuity of care. Quality of care is limited by self-reporting your vitals, and to get a complete physical exam for a true assessment, you have to go back to your doctor or clinic. So we have a SaaS platform that ties to the provider's databases, and our 360-degree approach provides continuity of care from the telehealth provider. For example, Mary downloads the app, our SaaS platform collects her info, analyzes her data, alerts Mary and her doctor for follow-up action. An example would be if her heartbeat were unusual or she skipped her meds. This platform also ties to our remote clinics. So how do they work? These standalone smart clinics allow virtual physical exams, and there are 11 instruments which measure vitals for illnesses such as pneumonia, diabetes, and high blood pressure, to name a few. Our seatback stethoscope allows listening to your lungs, which is critical in diagnosing pulmonary issues. The patient sits down, has a telehealth call, and applies the instruments as instructed by the remote provider. Our remote clinic, separately or configured with the Breeze 360, gives the provider tools for the level of care where and when you need it. The business will be huge. We see in a U.S. addressable market over $23 billion, with targets of 260 telehealth providers and 300,000 locations, a massive opportunity. What makes VK Digital Health unique? We are the only ones providing a virtual physical with 11 diagnostic tools, including the seatback stethoscope and glucose monitor, and have the flexibility to integrate and configure with electronic health record systems and SaaS platforms. And we offer access options like Wi-Fi, cellular, and satellite nationally. We have patents issued on the seatback stethoscope and glucose monitor, and a patent is being issued for automated instrument cleaning. We have medical providers lined up for clinical trials, LOIs from Welltower, Psych Associates, and George Washington Medical. Breeze 360, our SaaS platform, is currently being used by a top pharmaceutical company. This talented team of seasoned entrepreneurs is poised to take the company to the next level. Combined, we have 10 exits, raised $35 million, and have 250 years of experience in healthcare and technology. We're ready to roll and make significant inroads in 2022. We expect revenue of $7 million in 2023 and $178 million in 2026. Revenue is based on sale or lease of the cabins and chairs and from telehealth provider fees. To date, we've raised $1.8 million. Our ask is $1 million for evaluation and trials, inventory build, and marketing and sales. Thank you. I look forward to talking to you in the breakout room.
Thank you very much, Charles. And for our final presentation of the day will be for WorldCell Solutions, LLC. WorldCell provides communication as a service that enables the deployment of broadband and wireless networks in territory markets cost competitively through a technology-agnostic approach, bringing much-needed internet access to rural America, tribal partner, and enterprise customers. WorldCell is able to light up a town center in less than 100 days. Please welcome President Greg Buckman.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for getting through to the final presentation, the last stop between us and the breakout rooms. Let me introduce myself, Greg Buckman, President of WorldCell. What we do is simple. We help bridge the digital divide with broadband internet access to the unserved communities in the United States. What does that look like, right? So there are 35% of rural residents, 50% of homes on tribal lands simply do not have access to the internet. And there's plenty more areas that have poor access to the internet. This prevents people from participating in telehealth and telemedicine, distance learning, the simple ability to work from home, which many of us are doing today in this environment and on this call. So we address this problem and we find a way to go after these two target markets. What do? Very simple. We plan, we fund, we build, we operate, okay? Who do we partner with? On the local level, could be the tribal council, could be the local municipality, could be a small wireless internet service provider. We work with them and go through the complexities and challenges of obtaining federal, state, and local grants. We help them design the most cost-effective broadband access solution, completely technology agnostic. We have our own in-house carrier-grade core that we partition and provide access to. That's a $10 million investment that they don't have to make in order to get the type and quality of internet and mobility on a local level. Again, plan, fund, build, operate. Very simple. So much money. Everyone's read about it. Over $100 billion has been identified by just the federal government over the last 12 months. And these are just a few of the key programs. I read just 2 days ago, NTIA, another $24 billion in terms of administration of broadband funding. We can light up a town center in 100 days, 5G smart city, all right? Give people the ability to invest in that town, work from that town, and be able to do what they need in order to be successful and grow from an economic development perspective. And again, participate in those critical components we talked about earlier. It's been an exciting couple of years. We brought on quite a few CBRS customers. That's was a licensed spectrum and unlicensed spectrum allocated by FCC 2 years ago. We've completed 3 tribal build-outs. We've been in line and waiting for the final approval on $12.6 million from the FCC for a fully redundant core. And we have a very solid sales pipeline. We broke profitability and broke $1 million in 2019, jumped it up to 3.4 last year. And we're looking to hit 7 million in 2022. The team, I mean, you guys can read the screen. I say it's know-how with no who, because we can walk ourselves into most any tier 1 operator in the United States today, just through our current contacts. $1 million, this number's a good way to start, but it really goes to the scaling. We can scale this as quick and high as we can get the investments for. The EBITDA number and multiples in this market, as you can see on the screen, are impressive. Look, we can provide some goodness. I believe we're a low risk, high reward investment, and we can have some fun making this work and getting what the new utility is, which is broadband connected in the places that don't have it today. Love to talk to you in the breakout room. You know where to find us. Thanks for everyone's attention.
Great. Thank you so much, Greg. It's awesome to see WorldCell growing over the years. I've known your chairman for many, many years. So congrats on all of your growth. I'd like to put up our third and final investor poll right now. This is for investors, and our last 4 companies, which would be TripAdmit, Brissero, VK Digital Health, and WorldCell Solutions. Please indicate if you're an investor. If you're interested, we will keep these results confidential. We will only share your information with the presenting companies, who will then contact you later. Also, we're going to open up breakout rooms in about 3 minutes. After this poll, we're going to run another poll, but I do want to mention that before you go into breakout rooms, be sure to download the chat history. And how you do that is you click on chat on your toolbar, and then there's a little rounded square in the right-hand corner with 3 dots. Click on that and then hit save. Make sure you save your chat history with several hundred chats here so you can go back and read them later. And then you can go into the breakout rooms. So also want to mention that our 13 presenting companies, many of them are doing follow-on meetings next week and the week after. So be sure to get with the founders and ask for login information. Skyler will send out a recap this afternoon with information also on each person's follow-on meeting. So again, I love the fact that we're finishing a little bit ahead of time, which we pride ourselves on. Last call for the poll for investors. Okay. So we have one more poll to put up. Sky, if we could do that, please. Thank you. And that'll be for our awesome sponsors. Again, if you already answered the sponsor poll, this is our second one. If you already answered the poll earlier at the beginning, then no need to do it. This is for people who join later. But obviously, our sponsors support us, and they're the reasons why we're able to continue doing these events for free. So if you're looking, we want our community to patronize our sponsors as much as possible. So marketing services and branding, legal services, application, software development, digital transformation work, accounting and tax, wealth management, insurance, whether it's group and life or deferred comp solutions. We also do private investor meetings for certain clients into our network of over 3,000 high net worth accredited investors. Or if you're interested in sponsoring a CONNECTpreneur or presenting at a future event, we do these monthly. Please indicate as such. I'll keep it open for a few more seconds. And again, thank you guys for your participation. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. And I think, Sky, whenever you're ready, you can take that down and we will open up the breakout rooms. And you guys can feel free to go to whatever rooms you like. And if you're not able to automatically go to a room, just let Skylar or Jed or myself know, and we'll move you manually. But again, thank you guys for joining. Again, please join us for Connect Tales if you're in Tyson's Corner on April 19th. Or our next virtual event will be April 28th. You'll get an email on that. And then in person in DC, May 19th, we're having a CONNECTpreneur that morning. So again, we're going back to live events. So if you're near or around the Mid-Atlantic, please join us. Again, thank you for joining us today. We'll keep the event open till 1 o'clock at least. And if things are moving pretty, if people are engaged, we'll keep it open for as long as we have to. So again, thanks for joining us. Feel free to go into the breakout rooms now and have a great day.